Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Been here from EWPRO. So getting on to the weekly outlook, starting with DXY, we got the 5 down. Looking at this WXY, we've now broken this low for the bull hidden, for the possible bull hidden. So that's invalid now. Price action's taken out that bull hidden, so there's no chance of that bull hidden. So we can remove all this. So we just have this wave Y down. We've got the wave Y up, and that was it. That was the end of the move. If we go down to the H4, we've got this 333 in here, completing that wave Y, and then we've got this ABC down. We never got anywhere near this 100 fib, and we did get a lower low in here. We were looking at this a couple of weeks ago as bear hidden on the H1, and we got the lower low. Now we have a bullish divergence on the H4. So we're getting to the end of the move. Like I said a few weeks ago now, when we're in here, on the daily, I said we most likely get a break below here and break below this low here, taking out that bull hidden, and then we'll get the larger correction in here before we get more downside. This is coming to an end. We're getting that bullish divergence on the H4 though, so we're looking for a larger correction. And you can see that on the daily, that low's been broken here, so I can take that off now. So on the H1, we had that bear hidden here, and we said we're going to go and break that low. Now we've got bullish divergence on the H1, and it would have been nice if it went from here, giving us a buy setup. It hasn't done that. We've got an impulse up, and this has only just broken the low, so we can't rule this out as a flat in here for more downside. So it's going to be very tricky to trade this week. Next week it's going to be really difficult to trade, and that goes for just about all the pairs. We're at a low, and it's going to be dangerous to trade this. Now you can see that we do have a possible flat here. If you do get a sell set up, you can look for it to go and break that low. But yeah, we're at a low and we've got bullish divergence. It's as simple as that. When it's like this, I just stay out of the market. I won't be taking this sell. Ideally, we get a breakout out of here, and this is the end of the move, and then we get a buy set up to buy. I'm really only looking to buy because we're looking for a larger correction. So going on to the AU, the daily, we never got anywhere near that 100 fib right up here. I'm looking at it as an A, B, C. This is very choppy. This was corrective in here on the H4 though, and this is very choppy as well. So we can look at this as like we got 1, 2, 3 down here, then we got 5 up. So we should be looking for downside, like for a complex correction, A, B, C, a larger A, B, C, like on the daily. So we're really only looking for downside. This isn't going though. We got the Z up with bearish divergence. Very difficult because it's very choppy in here when we go down to the H1. I was looking for this in here. was looking at that as an A, B, C, and finishing off the move there, and then going and breaking the low from here. Well, it didn't do that because we got this in here now. So we can look at this as an A, B, C up in here, and then more downside. We've got to work out what this correction is, because we never got the break on this flat here, A, B, C, for this flat here, for an A, B, C to finish off this move for the B wave. So it's making it very difficult. The market's in indecision at the moment. It's going to be very difficult to trade. We do have a little, like an A, B, C in here, just breaking this top here. So if you do get a bearish flag in here, you can look for that downside. Just be very careful, because this can turn into an A, B, C, and then give like a larger A, B, C. It can turn into quite a few different things. Yeah, so gonna have to be really careful trading this week, next week. Going on to the EU, sorry, on the daily. This was corrective. This was looking corrective. We got that complete 333 on the H4. This still hasn't gone and broken the top. Ideally, we'd like to see that top get broken for some sort of a flat in here for A, B, C. If we go down to the H4, we're looking for that C up. We still can get more upside here. This can be a little flat in here on the lower time frame to give us more upside. But again, we'd like that daily top to be broken. But this is getting very choppy. All this in here was very choppy. So it makes it very difficult. And we do have bearish divergence there now on the H4. If you look at this, we had impulse. This is looking corrective, and then an impulse, and so an A, B, C up in here. It's bounced off that 100 fib. Now it's looking like corrective in here, though. We never broke this low, so it's really difficult, because this low here was never broken in this wave here for a regular flat. Regular flat, we get an A, B, C, just go and break that low. We got a very deep pullback in the B wave, so more than likely it is a flat, and we get more upside. If it doesn't go and break that low, it's a contracting flat, which very hard, difficult to trade, because you're never going to know that it's complete until it is complete. You're never going to know it's complete until it's complete. So again, very difficult to trade. Be very careful. Daily on the GU, this one never quite broken the top either. We're looking at this as a possible flat in here to go and break that top. We still haven't broken that top. On the weekly, we got the 123.6. We're at this 100 fib, and price is finding it very difficult to get above that 100 fib or stay above it. On the H4, we got see, this is very difficult as well. Just move that out of the way. We got this like WX. This may be the end of wave Y here, and then we get an A, B, C, and then we get another one in here for the X2, and then we get that Z up. Going breaking this top, we still haven't broken this top, so it's very difficult. You can see that we haven't quite broken that top. So again, really need a setup to sell it. Or to buy it, really. H1, we got the 5 up, we got W, X, Y, X, Z, we got the Z up. We've got an A. I was looking for a sell in here. I was looking for a bearish flag here because we had the Z up. So I was looking for a bear flag in here for the first target. I'll put this trade out on TradingView. We never got a setup. We got the setup, but we never got a trade on it. If you have a look, we never got a break for the flag, and it's gone and broken this top. It's only just broken the top, so we can. That's why we can look at it as, and this is quite choppy. So we're getting one down here. So more than likely, this is a flat. It may be running or it can be expanding. We don't know yet. It can turn at any time. But if you do get like a bullish setup, you can look to go and break that top. You definitely want to be a break even at the top of that. But yeah, we may get this as a flat for more upside. Very difficult because we are at a top as well. You know, you don't really want to be buying at tops. Really, ideally, would like to see this as the flat in here play out, give us another high, and this flat play out, and then like get a trend line break, and then a bearish setup so we can all sell. We're at a top, so you know, really want to be looking for the sells more than the buys, but it's just not giving us the sell setups at the moment. NU on the daily, we didn't quite get to that 100 fib. We got the bearish divergence. We got a trend line break. This is looking bearish. This was quite impulsive, like I've said a few times in the last weekly outlooks. So I'm looking at this as an A, B, and we should get a C down. So I'm looking for that C down. On the H4, we've got the W, X, Y, X, Z up, breaking that top. And then we got a trend line break, but it comes straight back above 3 up. It's pretty much the same as AU and all them. I'll just remove this fib now because that's played out. So now we have an impulse down. We have 3 up. So I was looking for an A, B, C, at least an A, B, C. And hopefully it turns impulsive, you know, for that C, for the larger A, B, C. It's very choppy in here though. So again, we have indecision on the H1. Let's see, we had impulse down here. Impulse up. This is looking impulsive and this is looking impulsive. And this is looking impulsive. They're all looking impulsive. This is where we got a correction. So we get A, B, C, then some sort of A, B, C, then an A, B, C, then an A, B, C, then we get an A, B, C. So this could turn really nasty, you know. If you're in this here, yeah, if you get a little flag in here, you can look for the sell for an A, B, C. Again, you want to get it to break even as fast as possible because this can turn into anything. We're at a top and the market's deciding what it wants to do. And yeah, so there's no real direction. This was quite a deep pullback, you know. This is up to the 78.6 fib or, you know, close to the 90 fib. So, you know, more than likely all this is just going to be a flat for more upside when we get these deep pullbacks. So again, be very careful. UY on the daily. Nothing's changed on the daily. We're looking for A, B, C. This top over here never got broken in the C wave, which makes it very difficult because this can be a contracting flat again. We've crossed down. We've got to cross down in this A. So I'm looking for an A, B, C, at least an A, B, C. Ideally, it's actually, you know, a W, X, Y, X2, and then a Z down, breaking this low. Ideally, that's what we get. So this can turn like motive, but again, it's hard to say because it's contracting flat on the daily. We don't know if that C wave's over. On the H4, we got a nice move down, and we got an A, B. We were looking a couple of weeks ago when we were here. We were looking for the A, B. We were looking for that C up. It never got near that 100 fib. It broke the top, so we got bearish divergence. Now it's broken this trend line. But the thing is, from here to here, this is looking very corrective still. So it makes it very difficult. This was quite choppy, so we can look at that as a B wave. And then this is sharp, so a C wave. The problem is this is so choppy. We would have really liked to see A, B, C. It's very choppy. If you go down to H1, last week we were looking for that Z up. Never got break of the trend line, and I don't think it still hasn't broken it by the look of it. Might have just tried to break it around here, but we can rule that out. I mean, this is too large a correction for that Z up. But we were looking for that Z up. Never got the break. Or trade set up for that wave Z. And like I said, this is very choppy. So we can look at this as an A, B, C in here for a flat for downside. So you know, it may be expanding, but if you get a setup, sell setup after this flat's complete, if that's what it is, you can look for the sell for the H4 wave C down. But again, it's so choppy. It's very difficult. You know, I wouldn't really be looking for the buy. It's more like this is going to be a flat for more downside for at least an A, B, C. So, yeah. You Sheffy. This is probably one of the better ones to trade. All these up here, I really wouldn't be trading them at this stage. This one here is not too bad. We would like to see this go and break this low. We do have the higher high, but we also have that bullish divergence in here. So ideally, this is an A, then we get a B, a C down, and then more upside. But again, on the weekly, we had that bear hidden, so this can go and break the low. When we look on the H4, starting to get very choppy. We have bullish divergence. We have bullish divergence over here as well, between over here as well, you know. So now we've even got more divergence, bullish divergence. So it's coming to an end. So we should be looking for a retrace, a larger correction. Now, we don't know. I'd be looking for, usually we look for the 50 fib retracement. But on this one, I'd be even looking for the 38.2. You know, so we should at least try and scalp up to here. We don't know. More than likely, we'd like an A, B, C up to the 38.2 and then see what it gives us up here. Does it turn motive, or and give us a deep correction, or may go and break the top. We don't know. But ideally, we're getting all this bullish divergence, so we want to try and look for the buy. I'll be looking for the buy up to this 38.2, at least up to the 38.2. Ideally, it gets up to this 50 fib. But if it's going to go and break the low, it shouldn't give a real deep correction. It should. That's why I put the 38.2 fib there. Yeah. So on the H1. So we got a few trades out of this because we had that bear hidden in here. And so we knew that low was going to get broken. Then here, we got a higher high here. So I was really expecting more upside, a correction in here for more upside, but it's gone and broken the low. So we get even more divergence. So this is coming to an end. If you get a buy setup, I'd be looking for a buy. There's no real buy setup on it just yet. If you get a flag in here, it's going to be risky. You can look for it. Have your stop loss at the bottom. Ideally, we get impulse up, breaking this top, then giving a correction or a flag up here, and then going up to this 38.2. That's what I'll be looking for this week if I get the setup. This is one of the nicer ones because we have so much divergence. UCAD on the daily. So this has had a really big run down. We never got to this 100 fib for the A, B, C. And then we're getting this. I was looking for the A, B, C in here. It's turned into a WXY. So I'm looking for, we can't rule out an X2 and then a Z down, maybe to this 100 fib. If we have a look here, I'll quickly go over to the weekly and show you what I'm looking at on the weekly. So we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, deep pullback. It didn't quite break the top, and then we get this impulse down. Now, either we get the impulse or we get the 5 down as a motive. 335 structure or a 3-3 or a 3-3. Sometimes we just get an impulse though. So we're at this 100 fib on the weekly. So really expecting a retrace or something in here. If it's going to continue down, it'll give us a corrective structure around here somewhere. May not be over, may go down a little bit further, but we should be at least looking for a larger correction before we get more downside. Ideally back to the 50 fib, but we may only get to the 38.2 on the weekly as well if it's going to really fall over more. So on the H4, we went past this 100 fib. So I'll just remove that. It's come down to the 123.6. But you can see we're at that weekly 100 fib here. We just got the one move down. So I was looking at this as an A. This is looking like a flat in here. I was looking at that as a flat and then go and break this low. It hasn't broken that low. So again, this is going to be very difficult to trade until we get a nice setup. H1, we got that W, X, Y, X, Z, then an A, B. I was looking at this as a A, B, C for a flat in here to go and break this low. We had a nice setup in here on Friday. I took that just as a scalp. But again, it had a nice bearish flag here. I took it up in here somewhere on the lower time frames. As soon as I started to see it's coming back up, bounced off this 100 fib, I just took profit. And now, if we look, it's made it hard. It's made it very difficult because we have this possible structure here, but yet we haven't broken that low. We haven't broken this low. We've broken the low of the starting point of wave A, which is all it really needs to do. But what makes it hard is we got 3 down in here. So it makes it really difficult. We never got a break above this top here either. You know, so we're still within this impulse here. So it makes it very difficult to get direction. I'm only really looking for buys. We're at a low and we're at that 100 fib on the weekly. So I'm really only looking for buys. Ideally, we get this break, whatever happens in here, we get a break of below there, we get a trend line. Then we can look at that as a trend line, get a trend line break, some sort of a bullish setup, and then look for the buy. That's all. I don't want to be selling down here. GY on the daily. So this one's playing rather well. So we got that WX wave Y. We've passed this 123.6, and we can, like I've been saying for ages, I was looking at this as internal, and we can go up to that 161.8. It's starting to run out of steam, and we do have bearish divergence on it now. H4, this is the one where I said it can be the extended wave, and that extended wave has played out. This was the only one that was actually valid, that I said was valid as the extended wave, because we had similar size corrections in the WX, Y, X, Z. It's come up to that 123.6 in wave Z. So really can only look for shorts. You know, we should be looking for that X2 on the daily, larger correction, but we haven't got the impulse down yet. So on the, as I said last week, you know, I was looking at this as a WX, Y, X, Z here. We got the Z up as a extended wave in wave Y, and we can get an A, B, C in the next 2 here, and then the Z up on the daily, and this is the extended wave. So we got a WX, extended wave Y, X2, and then we get the Z up. We haven't got the nice impulse. If I just zoom in here, the reason I'm looking at this as an X2 is because we got a deep pullback. We sort of got 5 up in here, some sort of complex correction. So we're looking as an A, B, C, and then you'll have to watch this trend line here, because we may get a Z up from there. Like I said, we never got a nice impulse giving the direction, you know, as a reversal setup. When we get reversal, we get a big move, big impulse down, and then we get the correction and more downside. Not seeing that yet. So again, it's going to be tricky to trade. You know, if you do get sell setup, you can take it. If you get a little bear flag or something in here, you can look for that C down, but just be mindful that it may be just an X2, and then you get the Z up to finish off the move, and then you get the correction or flag to sell. I'm more interested in the sell because, like I said, we're above this 123.6 on the daily. In the wave Y, we're looking for that correction. at least a larger correction. EG on the daily. We're looking for this C up. Again, this is very choppy down here. If it was going to go, it would have gone, you know. So, you know, we don't have any divergence, even between this one, A, B, C. We don't have any divergence between the A and the C. So we may be getting it like a W, X, Y, X, X2, and then a Z. So this may, because this is looking so choppy, we may be in an X2, you know, and this is choppy for a long time, like this was, you know, very choppy. And then we get another one down. Can't rule that out. If we have a look on the H4, it's really, you know, I was looking for this last week, looking for this, you know, to go from here for the A. This should be complete A, B, C in here. And that's why I was looking for this C wave up. Again, it never went, and it's very choppy in here. So it makes it very difficult to trade, extremely difficult to trade, because we don't, this is looking bearish, you know, this is looking bearish. So is this a W, X, Y, X, Z in here as well? And then we get the C up. It's definitely possible. This could just stay in here for a long time, same length of time as that, and then we get another one down before we get the C up. So, yeah, be very careful trading all this week, all next week. You're going to have to be extremely careful trading, I think. We're at tops. EY, we got the A, B, C. It's come up to that 123.6, but we got the bearish divergence. It hasn't quite hit that 123.6, which is good because we don't really want it to hit that 161, the 161.8 or the 123.6 with that bearish divergence. So H4, we're just looking at this. Now, like I said last week, this may be the end of wave Y here. And we get an A, B, C as a running flat for X2, and then we get that Z up. That's still definitely possible. It's starting to be a larger correction than this, though. It still is valid, but yeah, be careful if you're selling it. You know, be careful. There was a nice sell setup on this. I'll show you on the H1, but it never went. But yeah, be very careful because this can be an X2 for a running flat in here, and then we get that Z up finishing off the move. On the H1, it's looking at this as an A, B, C. We had the bearish divergence over here, and then it started to do this, you know, giving us even more bearish divergence. So there was this, you know, A, B, C in here. It never went. I'll zoom in a bit. The problem with it is we had a nice correction. We had a nice impulse down, then a correction, A, B, C up, nice break, but we only just broke the low. We never got to the 100 fib or anything, and we got no bullish divergence either. So, you know, this can be just an A, B, C down and then more upside. So, you know, you have to be really careful. If you get a sell on it, you know, you can look for the sell. Just be very careful this next week with what you do. Gold on the H1, on the daily, sorry. So it's gone further than I thought. You know, I thought we'd get, so I was saying down here, you know, we're looking for a correction up to this top trend line here. it's gone and broken this trend line now. So we've gone and broken that trend line. That back. But yet we still have this bearish hidden divergence. So there's still possible that bearish hidden divergence to go and break the low until we take that bearish hidden divergence out at the break of this top. So I got that. This is the invalidation point for that bear hidden, because we're looking for that W, X, Y, X, 2, and then a Z down. So it is still possible to get that Z down, but we've broken out of that trend line. The thing that I don't like was because on the H4, we got a W, X, Y, X, Z. Now, we lost all the bearish divergence. So it makes it very difficult because it's more bullish, like for something, an A, B, C up in here. There's no bearish divergence, so it's not giving us a sign of reversal. So H1, we got the bearish divergence. We got W, X, Y, X, Z with bearish divergence. Then we get this. Very choppy, looking very corrective. If I zoom in here, it's not going like most of them. They're just playing around up the top here. You know, we've got this trend line here. It hasn't broken. Like, it tried to break here, but it just didn't. But we've got an A, choppy wave B. It's very deep. So this is more than likely just a flat. So we may get a little bit more downside just for a flat, you know, expanding flat. It didn't quite break this top. This top here didn't quite get broken over here. So we should get a regular flat A, B, C. I thought it would have went, you know, here, but it didn't. So we want to see that low broken. Yeah, it's not playing nicely. It's as simple as that. Yeah, it would have been nice if it went from here. I mean, once we got all this, I'm sort of expecting it to go from here, you know, that the top, and then giving it an A, B, C, because even this one went up to the 78.6 here. Now it's just above the 90 fib, you know, so more than likely this is just a regular flat A, B, C, just breaking that low before we get more upside, because we've got such a deep pullback. So be very careful with this. Ideally it plays out, we get an A, B, C, then break the top, then some sort of a trend line break and a bearish setup to sell. Yeah. WTI, so this hasn't changed. Looking at A, B, C, we got to that 100 fib on the A, B, C, up to the 100 fib. It's finding a lot of resistance at that 100 fib. And we do have the bearish divergence on the A, B, C. H4, we finally got, like, this. I was looking for this B wave for ages, you know. We got 5 down in here, and then we got this large correction. So it's only going to be an A, B, C, and that's it. Then we're going to get more upside. We're not going to get the large. Well, we're getting a larger correction, but it's going to be shallow. Yeah, we finally got the trend line break. You know, finally got a trend line break. We got a high. We come from a high. So that's a good thing. I said last week we may even go and break this top, and it's still going to be a B wave, whatever it does, an A, B, C, for a running or expanding flat. If that top gets broken, that top has held for now. On the H1, so looking for this A, B, C. I was looking for a running or expanding flat. It's turned into an expanding flat because this top here has been broken. I'm looking for the sell on it, you know, but we're not getting that sell set up yet, so it makes it hard. Ideally, you know, we get an A, B, C up, then some sort of a bearish setup to trade that D1, C down. We need that sell set up to sell it. For the buy, well, you know, I wouldn't be buying it. We've got a lower low here. We didn't get any bearish divergence. I'm not sure if we did. I think we did, but yeah, see, we didn't get any bearish divergence there, which makes it really hard on the daily because we had this here. We got a lower low on this one as well. I'm not sure if that one broke the top, but yeah. Yeah, so I'm only looking for the sell. If I get the sell, I'll take it. Yeah. So Bitcoin on the daily. This is what I'm looking at. Put this trade view idea out. So we got a WXY. We bounced clean off that 161.8. So I'm looking for a correction, similar size to this X1 in the X2 before we get a Z down, and then more than likely this is all the correction, and we get a Z up, larger Z up, and this is just internal. So that's what I'm looking for. So this is going to be choppy for a while. I think when I put this idea out, it was over here somewhere. One of these candles over here. So it bounced off that. As soon as we bounced off that, I'll put this idea out. So we get an A, some sort of A, B, C, or some sort of a correction. We've got to look for a correction in here. It's already hit the 38.2, so more than likely it's going to go further. And again, this wave Y may not be over. On H4, or on the daily, this wave Y may not be over because we just have one wave down here on the H4. So, yeah, we need to wait for the correction to give us the direction. It may just be wave Y and that's the end of it. That's the end of the move. But ideally, we get an A, some sort of A, B, C in here for an A, B, C, and then more downside. That's what I'm looking at. There's no real setup on it at this stage. Yeah, you're just going to have to wait for that. All this choppiness. I dare say it's going to be choppy for a long time. Right, in here. So wait for it to trade, give you a setup, and I'd be looking for that Z down. This may go and break the low. You know, wave Y may not be over. So yeah, trade it accordingly. SPX on the daily. So again, we haven't got to that 100 fib in the A, B, C, but we have all this bearish divergence. I am looking for the larger correction, you know, A, B, C back to this 100 fib, 50 fib, or even to the 38.2. But yeah, we're not getting it yet. It's very choppy. H4, we got the Z up. So we got the W, X, Y, X, Z. So we had a nice run here because we you know, we were looking for that, and we were looking for that Z up, and we got the Z up. It only got to the 123.6 extension, didn't get to the 161.8, but that, you know, we got that bearish divergence. So that's all we were after. Problem with it now is we're looking for this C down for an A, B, C. We got, this is sharp, this was sharp. Now we can sort of look at this as a flat in here, in the B wave, expanding flat for an A, B, C. This may be complete because we did break this top of wave A. So I'm looking for this. I'll just put the fib on here. So we're looking for that C down. Get a little bear set up in here. Looking like you may get a little bearish flag in here. You can look for it because we have that bearish divergence between this top and this top. So yeah, if you get a little flag in here, any sort of sell set up, look for that sell. The DAX, H1. See, this was looking very bullish. I don't think this top's been broken yet. This is looking bullish still, like I've been saying. We do have that bearish divergence on the daily for the C up. It's not quite up to that 100 fib. Now, we were looking for that Z up last week. Yeah, last week we were looking for that Z up. So we're looking for this an A, B, C in here for that expanding flat in there for the A, B, C last week. So we're looking for this to go and break the top. I think it does look like it. Yeah, so we've completed that Z. It's gone and broken the top. It never got to the 123.6 or the 161.8, but it did go and break that top. That's all it really needs to do. Now it's getting difficult again, like a lot of the pairs. We've got an impulse and an impulse. We've got an impulse, impulse, impulse. So more than likely we get a correction and an impulse for an A, B, C, and then possibly more upside. Because this is so deep, it's be up to the 90 fib. So yeah, you're going to have to be really careful. The FTSE on the daily, like I've been saying, we've been looking at this as a B wave, still looking at it as a B wave. It's starting to get too far, but you know, looking for that A, B, C. I'm still looking at it as a B wave because it's so choppy, you know. H4. Yeah, see, I was looking for that Z up on this one as well. Looking for that. It never played out on this one. We got W, X, Y, X, Z. Looking for that Z up. Instead, it's giving us all this in here. So this is going to be difficult trade. Yeah, so last week I was looking for this as a flat in here, looking for a flat. It still is a flat. It's still a B wave, but it's deep. So we get an A, B, C. So it looks like you're getting a little bullish setup in here. Very dangerous. We're at a top, and we're at a top of the Z and a B wave. So you can trade it if you want, but ideally we go and break the top, give us that Z up, and then give us some sort of a sell setup, and we'll all be in the sell. So that's about it this week. I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook. Share, like, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Enjoy your week, and I'll see you out.